That was one of the many business ventures that I dived into. I also sell artwork, I also sell digital products, and I'm just indulged in very many businesses at the moment. Growing up, I've been the only granddaughter, I've been the only daughter, I've been the only niece. For this reason, I found myself most of the time spending time alone. When I spent time alone, I would often find myself reading. I really enjoyed reading. Reading was my escape from the world. Because all my cousins and my brothers are male, I couldn't share with them what happened in Cinderella or what happened in Sleeping Beauty. So I sought comfort and company with my grandmother and my mother. They were my friends when I was young. From them, we grew a very deep bond. We became very connected and very intertwined. I observed them deeply and saw that they were very entrepreneurial. They were very business savvy. They were very experienced in starting and growing businesses. So I aspired to be like them. I remember my grandma used to take me with her for her tenant meetings. She'd take me to Kayole, for example, and she would take me and I'm tired, I'm sweating, I don't want to be here, but she's taken me there to learn what it took to be a landlady, what it took to please your customers, and how to resolve issues. My mother, on the other hand, used to tell me, and still tells me, about the stories of her youth. In her 20s, she was working in the laundromat to make money for herself so she could take herself to a private university. All these experiences and conversations shaped how I thought and who I was. So they made me more business savvy, so to say. So I knew that starting a business was something I could do, something I should do. So when I turned around 10, I remember, I still had my love and passion for reading. And my mom said, let's make a business about this. We've taught you that starting a business is possible. Let's start. I was a bit hesitant, but I had learned from them, so it was okay to start. So we went ahead and started a book club. This book club was for kids aged, I believe, 13 to 18. It was to encourage them to learn to read, to embrace reading, to embrace learning new vocabulary. And because I loved reading, it was something that was close to my heart. For 2 weeks straight, I remember we were just thinking how the book club would go. They would meet once a month. Where would they meet? How much would they pay? What books would they read? I remember we even created a website using HTML, which is very hard, if you know what I'm talking about. And we made posters and flyers. Then 2 weeks later, it was time to go and pitch the business. So I went to school with flyers. I remember it was in the afternoon. I asked my teacher, can I make an announcement? He said, yes. I went in front of the class, and I started explaining what the book club was about. I started pitching my business ideas to 12-year-olds, my peers, my classmates. And as I looked at them, I felt very disheartened, very discouraged. They looked uninterested. They didn't seem to care for what I had to say. They didn't seem like they would like to read outside of school. Reading outside of school to them, I believe, was a punishment. So at that moment, I came to a conclusion. Being an entrepreneur, not right now. It's for a 25-year-old Linda. Because my grandma started in her 30s, my mom started in her 20s. 25 was a sweet spot. I would say so 25-year-old Linda, when she has her life together, when she's put together, she will start a business and become an entrepreneur. So I shelved the idea. So being the curious person I was, I developed hobbies. I started cooking, I started painting, I started baking. And I remember I moved to a new school after COVID, which was a new experience. In all my other schools, I had not met teenagers who wanted to be entrepreneurs, or kids at all. But in this new school, I met entrepreneurs right in my classroom. The boy who sat behind me sold sandwiches. He sold them at 75 shillings. The boy who sat beside me sold lollipops. Others sold jewelry, others sold art. And I was so intrigued by them. I remember I monitored them for around a month. I just asked them, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? What are you doing with this money? Some would say to buy shoes, to buy jewelry, obvious things that teenagers wish to have. But I remember really thinking about it, and I was like, these are entrepreneurs in their own right. So I went back home with these stories to my mom, and for a whole term, we just discussed what it meant to be an entrepreneur, what it meant to start a business and maintain a business. We analyzed those businesses, the sandwich making business. Is his price at 75 good? Is it enough profit? The margins? How can he expand? What offerings can he include to attract a different clientele? Things like that. So for a whole term, that's all we could talk about at home. Then I remember this one Saturday morning. As I mentioned, I was very intrigued by baking. So I made my mom a fresh bowl of granola and yogurt, and I handed it to her. She looked at me and said, "Why not sell this?" I knew there were people my age who were doing it, but I had never seen myself in their shoes. I looked at her curiously. I was like, this is not for me. We discovered that when I was 12. When we started with the book club, that was a bitter feeling. So we do not want to relive that. But I just accepted what she had to say. Then she sat me down. She was like, okay, let's figure it out. We watched a recipe, and I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can try. I was still hesitant to try, but I still went on. She gave me 5,000 shillings and told me, go. So together with my older brother, I went to the Parklands market. I bought cashews, I bought oats, I bought honey, I bought nuts. Then I went to the supermarket. I bought sesame seeds, I bought cinnamon, I bought cardamom. Then I came home with these ingredients. I went to the kitchen, put my apron on, and began baking. I have baked for a few years now. It was very normal. But when I was done, what I was left with, I could not call baking. It was flaky, it was brown, it was sticky. It did not look appetizing at all. I said to myself, this is a sign that I should not be an entrepreneur. This is for 25-year-old Linda. There's no need for this. But as I was staring at my pile in front of me, my mother walked in. She was like, let me taste that. She tasted like, it's not bad. You just go take it. Take it the next day and have your peers try it for free, like a sample. So, because we've already spent money, she's told me to go. I will just go. So the next day, I packed it up in its brown, flaky form and went to school. I was going for a marathon that day, coincidentally. So I gave it to my peers. They tried it. I got the negative feedback that I was expecting. It's too sweet. It's too pasty. It's not for me. It's too healthy. And I was like, this is just confirmation. Entrepreneurship is for 25-year-old Linda. But I remember there's one person who said, if it was just a little less sweet, I would enjoy it. And that made me pause and think, wow, I can actually do this. So I went back home and improved the product. I got better and better and better, and now I can sell you the granola bars I sell because they're decent looking and delicious. That was one of the many business ventures that I dived into. I also sell artwork, I also sell digital products, and I'm just indulged in very many businesses at the moment. From that experience, I have gained a lot of money. I'm very much 18, but I have earned money of my own. Money that I can say, if I put this in the bank, it is me who earned it. So that money I have now it's time to invest. As I've been taught by my very business-savvy grandmother and mother, money does not go into your pocket and just stay there. You need to put it so it grows and services you later. From this experience, I learned that entrepreneurship is not for 25-year-old Linda. It's for anyone. Whether I know how to do it, whether I have the money to do it, or whether I doubt myself, I can still start. I can still try. So entrepreneurship is for anyone, really. Whether you want to start today, or whether you wished you had started, you can still start today. Thank you.
Woo, Linda. Just stay there for a second. I think let's appreciate Linda. A whole 18-year-old entrepreneur